Can you heal hip arthritis? Honestly, I think so. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Pain to Par. This is a YouTube channel where my goal is to create a place to share your own journey dealing with whatever chronic issues you have that are impacting your ability to play golf or whatever your thing is. So, to kick this off, I'm going to be sharing my roller coaster journey of battling hip arthritis, hip labral tear, sciatic pain, all while trying to keep my golf game in one piece. So, really quick, let's start about how I got here. So, for the past 2 years, I've been dealing with a hip arthritis, torn hip labral tear, lower back pain from degenerative disc disease, and crazy sciatic pain running down my left leg. Incidentally, I'm a right-handed golfer, which means everything I really need is on my left side, on my left leg, my left hip, and that happens to be where all my problems are. So I made some changes. It's been 2 years and that I'm dealing with this. And so I've made some changes to my swing. Now, I'm a pretty good golfer. I have a good understanding of the golf swing. And just for context, last year I ended up, even with all these problems, with a 6.9 in handicap. So not bad. But look, all this is happening on my lead hip. So I've made changes to really de-emphasize the load on the hip. So I've done three main things. I've reduced the weight shift to my lead leg, which isn't really good because I'm still keeping some of the weight on the back leg. I've reduced the turn around that hip, which impacts speed and squaring up the club. And honestly, I've focused more on generating speed with the momentum of my arms. So three very bad things to do in the long term, but I've managed to make it work and return the club reasonably square. So it's working for now, but it's a short-term fix because I'm optimistic that I'm going to heal the hip arthritis and the sciatic pain and the labral tear enough that I can return to normal golf or normal activities, because I used to be super, super active and now it's really just golf. So that's golf stuff, and I'll cover that later. I hope to cover more of that and maybe even get some experts on this channel. But what did I change to my body? So, like a lot of people, I jumped into the world of online advice, in particular YouTube, but I found some really good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to call out a few people here. So head over to El Paso Manual Physical Therapy. And at that channel, you'll find Dr. David Middaugh. And he's got a ton of great videos on every kind of arthritis, labral tears. He's got courses, tons of information. Good stuff. I've used a lot of it and found some relief and some help. Now, in his mind, hip arthritis is predominantly maybe influenced by a muscle imbalance. So he advocates a lot of like strengthening all the muscles in and around that hip area, especially the glutes, things like hip flexors, adductors, abductors. So that's really cool. Go check them out. For day-to-day exercises on how to help manage hip arthritis, I found Arthritis Adventure. That's run by Alyssa Kuhn. Again, a lot of great content, just good, useful content like getting out of chairs, how to walk up the stairs, things like that. And so I go check her out. And then finally, this was interesting. I found Brendan Backstrom's channel, Low Back Ability. And Brendan basically cured himself from debilitating back pain. As he calls it, all our backs are shit because we lead these very sedentary lives, and I sit all day at a computer. And so he's like, your lower back is so weak. And it's funny how, when you look at Dr. David Middaugh and Brendan, they're all talking about the same thing. It's all these muscle imbalances. So he's got these training programs on how to strengthen your back. And the real cool thing about Low Back Ability, or LBA, is it's the type of program you can go, and he basically says you pay whatever you want. He's not in it for the money. He's trying to help as many people as possible. Okay, so I've added a whole bunch of hip, glute, and back strengthening exercises, and those are helping. So they're helping to just stabilize and strengthen the area. Next, I needed to look at my diet. So, one of the things I believe in is that a lot of healing, or arthritis is really just a fancy name for inflammation, right? And so inflammation happens for a number of reasons, but if the key to getting my body to heal itself is to reduce that inflammation, diet's going to play a major role in making progress here. So, head over to Andrew Tunstall's channel, Shape Fixer, and there, Andrew's going to walk you through how he actually reversed his bone on bone hip arthritis with exercise, supplements, and a ketogenic diet. Like, apparently, the guy is running up hills again. So, crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping to be similar to him and be able to show that I too have managed to reverse the effects of arthritis. So back to the diet. In an effort to create the lowest inflammatory environment for me and my body, I went carnivore last year. So it's been almost a year. I've lost a bunch of weight. I actually gained a fair amount of range of motion in my hips, and I reduced the pain um, from the hips. And I know the diet's working because every so often I go on like a carb bender where I'm Italian. So, pastas and breads I grew up with. So every once in a while I go and I indulge in those. And man, I feel it in my joints, in my hip. It's painful. So I know that that diet is really contributing a lot to the benefits, or at least reducing the inflammation, which I believe gives the body time to help repair itself. Okay, now, what if diet's not enough? What if you can go as low inflammatory as you want, but it's still not enough? The reason I say this is because recently I stumbled across Dr. Susan Bloom. She wrote a book called Healing Arthritis, and she advocates that most people with chronic inflammation actually have leaky gut, and they need to fix that, or the best anti-inflammatory diet won't work. So, um, I don't think I have leaky gut, but I do believe we could all stand to improve our gut um, health. And so, if if I can just strengthen my gut and ensure that nothing's getting through the intestinal junctions into my system, creating more inflammation, good for me, right? And it's really, when I think about it, in comparison to carnivore, it's just a few extra things I have to eliminate, like nightshade vegetables, alcohol, coffee, things like that, which suck because I love coffee. But okay, I'm doing it, and I've seen some improvement in my hip mobility, and so now I got to go after that sciatic pain. I mean, like, I can cope with the hip mobility issues, but the pain from sciatic, anyone who has it knows it's terrible and it can be intense at times. And when it happens on the golf course, because I'm still walking the golf courses in the summer, I don't want to become that guy that's always riding. Like, when it hits and I can't get rid of it easily, man, it is like, can you say double bogey? It's crazy what it does to your game. And it's really painful and it sucks. So, thinking I had sciatic adhesion, so, thinking my sciatic nerve was stuck somewhere between my back and my feet because I'm getting this radiating pain in my shins, I found a certified active release technique doctor in my area. And I can tell you that has literally uh, that's changed everything in terms of my sciatic pain. I still get sciatic every day, a little bit here, a little bit there, but man, with this active release technique, the occurrence has gone down, my sciatic, and the intensity. I used to get sciatic for like tens of minutes, and I'd have to do all kinds of contortions with my back to see if I can get relief. Now it comes and goes. Like, it comes, I kind of wait it out a minute or so, and it's gone. So, and I think that's just proves that my sciatic nerve has been, adhered to parts of my body, and that active release has been really good at lessening it. So And then finally, because there's been so much talk about fascia and ensuring that your fascia is loose, and I've been seeing, I've gone to a fascia stretching expert. I don't have a lot to report yet because I've only gone twice, but I can tell you each time I leave, like my body feels really good, and I have good hope for the fascia. But again, all these things are, they feel very piecemeal. As you can see, I'm going here for this and I'm going there for that, and I've changed my diet, but I don't feel like I've actually honed in on what's going on. Like, where is the root of all this coming from? So, very often, I feel like I'm kind of shooting in the dark. I feel pain. I find a practitioner. Um, and so, this is leading me to where I am today and where I'm about to go and what I'm going to do on this channel as a result. So, enter Dr. Z, or Dr. Zielonka. In my city, there is a doctor with a new unique treatment. It's called non-surgical robotic laser spinal decompression. And so essentially what it does is it decompresses your discs and then shoots a very strong red light laser at it to accelerate the nourishment. Because red light's been talked a lot about how it has mitochondrial effects. And so I went to see him. We did a full exam on my back and my pelvis and my hips and that. I have pelvic tilt, I have pelvic rotation, I have degenerative discs. So, and I feel like they're all intertwined. So it's a bit of a mess. But Dr. Z has this intensive 12-week program. It includes the robotic laser spinal decompression, supplements to replenish and heal the discs, neuromuscular education, re-education. So I got to learn how to walk and stand and things like that, right? Because obviously I've probably been doing it all wrong my whole life. I'm not really good at in tune with my body. And spinal corrections and things like that, including a number of preventative protocols. So it's kind of an all-in-one set of treatment that I'm looking to do. And I have a very simple goal: fix the back. That should fix the sciatic pain. With that out of the way, go and address the pelvic tilt and rotation, get that squared back to normal so my body's not doing all kinds of crazy manipulations to, protect that area. That should lower the inflammation, which should give my hip time to start healing. And if all goes well in a number of months, but, this 12-week program should be the kickstart to that, I should be in a much better state and hopefully, safeguarding my golf game and my insanity. So, what happens next? Well, over the next 12 weeks, I'm going to document every step of this 12-week journey: the results, the before, the after, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. I also plan to cover changes I'm making in my golf swing as a result, as I prepare for the start of the season, which for me in Ottawa, Canada, we're in the middle of winter, is early May. So I have literally not more than about 12 weeks, probably, a little over 16, 17 weeks to get ready, I'd say. So I'm inviting you to come along if you're a golfer suffering with similar issues, or you're just curious if I can do this and fix my back pain and heal my arthritis. Hit that subscribe button and join me on this adventure. And of course, feel free, I'm going to be posting a lot about this process. So feel free to drop your questions and tips or your own experiences in the comment section below. I promise I will reply. And if I don't have the answer, I'll go ask Dr. Z. So, as I come out of this, the goal of this channel is to create a community of like-minded people suffering from some kind of chronic issue, that love golf or some other sport that is getting in their way or something else, right? I want this to be a place where we can share experiences and share information. So take this journey from pain to par together, and hopefully we can share a few laughs along the way. Thank you very much, friends, and see you in the next video.